In this world, the moon is mutating, causing Earth's temperature to rise beyond 100 degrees. Heat is so intense that power plants explode. The ground burns anyone who steps outside for more than 20 seconds. With people trapped inside their homes, food and supplies have become more valuable than gold. For 5 long years, the protagonist survived alongside his girlfriend. Before everything was gone, she sent someone to kill him. But fate gave him another chance. He was sent back 5 years before it all began, with one incredible ability: to stockpile endless resources. This time, he vowed to gather 3 billion in supplies and become ruthless to anyone who stood in his way. Right now, he's sitting on a bus where people are discussing how Mount Fuji suffered an earthquake that killed dozens. Their city's now being evacuated. A girl in a tight pink dress complains that they had to leave so quickly she couldn't buy any supplies. A man beside her adds that all supplies in nearby cities have mysteriously vanished. Another man with a shaved head says the same thing happened at Donan Lake in Shingan City and also at the Dahunan warehouse. The girl nervously whispers that all these missing goods must be worth billions. From the back of the bus, the protagonist corrects her. It's actually worth trillions. He explains that the disappearance of so many supplies, combined with these disasters, means something big is coming. The girl anxiously asks if it's the end of the world, while a man in a green shirt grins, saying he can't wait for everyone to finally be treated equally. But the protagonist knows better. Even at the end of the world, life is never fair. He remembers it clearly. In his last life, he was just a delivery driver when the apocalypse struck. Heat waves roasted the earth. Tectonic plates shifted, and monstrous creatures emerged from underground. Society collapsed overnight. In that brutal new order, instant noodles were worth millions, and a single sausage could buy any favor. People abandoned morals for survival. Now reborn a month before the disaster, he won't waste a second chance. The girl in the pink dress clings to his arm, saying she's scared and asking him to comfort her, but he pulls away. There are more important things to do, he says, leaving her confused. Stepping off the bus, he reminds himself what truly matters in an apocalypse: supplies. In his last life, he spent every waking hour searching for them. This time, he'll prepare first. He works at Walmart, where his boss is announcing a pay cut. He calmly says it's fine and even apologizes, but he remembers what happened in the first apocalypse. This same boss hoarded all the store supplies and ran. Now it's his turn. He opens the warehouse, activating his mysterious system. In an instant, it detects every item around and sends it into his personal spatial storage, an endless dimension of over 10,000 meters. Using this power, he's been secretly draining lakes, stealing food, and stripping doomed cities clean. If instant noodles were priceless in the old world, real food will be untouchable. Best of all, time inside his storage is frozen, meaning nothing ever rots. His system lists the massive haul he's just collected. At last, he feels prepared. Just then, 3 coworkers walk into the now empty warehouse. Stunned, they ask what happened. The protagonist calmly admits he took everything. The boss demands to know how, then orders the others to grab him. As they approach, he steps back and vanishes. They freeze in shock. He reappears outside the building. This is his second ability, spatial jump. With it, he can teleport 3 meters at will, making gathering and escaping effortless. Tossing his Walmart uniform in the air, he smirks. Collection complete. His phone buzzes with an emergency alert from the authorities. They warn that Earth's surface is shifting and a major disaster could strike soon. He finds it strange. Nothing has started yet, so how do they already know? Just then, his girlfriend, Zhang Shaqian, calls. He sighs and answers. She scolds him furiously for putting their house up for sale. "Do you think I'll stay with you if you sell it? You need to act like a real man," she snaps. "Even if I don't want the house, I'm still a woman. If you want to prove you're worthy, give it to me so I can feel secure." Suchan asks Zhang Shokin if she has anything else to say. She snaps back, "What kind of attitude is this? If you transfer the house to me, I'll give you another chance. But if you don't, forget about marrying me." Without saying a word, Suchan hangs up. He remembers the last 5 years of the apocalypse, how he risked his life every day hunting for supplies to feed her, even taking her to a safe zone. Without him, she would have starved in the first few days. Yet, despite all he did, there was a day he came home only to be attacked from behind. They accused him of hiding food because he wasn't bringing enough back. After they killed him, they had their fun next to his body. Shang Shoukin even warned the man on top of her, Nam Wang, that Suchan died because he was useless and incompetent. She told him he'd better prove he wasn't the same. The betrayal crushed him. He had trusted her for so long. But in this new life, Sukin and Nam Wang will pay, and they won't die quickly. The pain Suchan felt, they will feel 100 times worse. Calming himself, Suchan thinks about what he really needs now. The things he wants aren't in markets. They can only be bought with money. So first, he needs cash. He calls a man named Lu and says he's selling his house for half price, but wants the payment immediately. Outside the real estate agency, Nam Wang and Shang Shoukin are waiting. When Suchan arrives, Shoukin scolds him for making her wait, but he ignores her and walks past. Wang steps forward, demanding to know who gave him permission to sell the house, warning that if he tries this again, he won't live to see the sun tomorrow. But Suchan has changed. After surviving the apocalypse, he learned to fight. Without hesitation, he grabs Wang by the neck and throws him to the ground. "I can do whatever I want with what's mine," Suchan growls. Wang gasps for air, terrified. Shoukin panics and tries to stop him, but Suchan slaps her to the ground. She stares up at him in shock. On the ground, Wang begs him to stop, saying he's almost suffocating. Suchan leans close and whispers coldly, "Don't worry, you won't die that easily." Then he lets him go. Wang lies stunned while Suchan walks into the real estate agency. Behind him, Shoukin threatens him again. "This is your last chance. If you kneel and apologize right now, I'll consider forgiving you, but if you don't, forget about marrying me." Suchan turns his head and stares at them with an icy look. Shoukin and Wang flinch and run away.
Inside, the real estate attendant offers Suchan water and explains they will purchase his house now. The realtor's plan is simple. The house is worth $1 million, but Suchan is selling it for $700,000. They'll just flip it for a quick profit. Suchan agrees to sell, but demands full payment immediately. The buyer agrees, promising to transfer the money and finish everything by morning. Suchan is satisfied. He knows that soon houses will be worthless as the temperature climbs. For now, despite disasters happening around the world, the city's still calm. Volcanoes, earthquakes, and tsunamis are far away, for now. Walking down the street, Suchan notices a poster for quick loans. He decides to visit. When he arrives, he's surprised to find that the loan broker is the older brother of Nam Wang, the same man he just threw to the ground. Suchan also knows this man will be devoured by a monster in the early days of the apocalypse. The broker offers him $500,000 in cash if he leaves the house certificate. Suchan calmly says he wants $600,000 and promises to win it back in the casino within a week. The broker smiles, thinking Suchan is just another desperate gambler willing to sell even his family if needed. In his mind, Suchan will never repay the money. They'll keep the house and trap him in heavy debt. He agrees to the deal and transfers $600,000 to Suchan. Meanwhile, Nam Wang and his friend X-Can are furious. They were already on their way to visit Wang's brother when they saw Suchan leaving the loan office. Wang grabs Suchan by the neck again, demanding to know what he's doing there. But they decide to follow him instead of starting a fight. Suchan, ignoring them, remembers which buildings will collapse when tsunamis hit. Most will fall, but one hotel in Green City will survive every disaster until the end. Suchan knows the presidential suite at Green City Hotel is fully equipped, even with a pool, and during the apocalypse, this place kept its food supply longer than most. It would make the perfect base for a while. At the front desk, he is greeted by an attendant named Luke Sino, who politely asks what she can do for him. Suchan calmly says he wants to order 1,000 banquet tables. The request shocks her. Thinking she misheard, she offers him several options, but he tells her he wants the premium tables at 10,000 each. He says he'll make an advance payment of 500,000 and pay the balance later. Luke Sino is skeptical but keeps her smile. Someone willing to pay 500,000 up front must have even more to spend, so it's best to make things easy for him. She guides him to the payment room and, curious, asks if he's preparing for a wedding. Suchan nods, saying yes, it's off for a wedding. He also requests a presidential suite.
Before I continue,
please drop a like on this video. This little support will mean everything to me. Now back to... Sometime later, Suchan leaves the hotel in high spirits. Spending only 500,000, he secured more than 10 million worth of food. When the apocalypse begins, those supplies will be priceless and the rest of the payment won't matter. Luxino watches him leave, thinking whoever marries this young man is very lucky. Just then, Jang Shokin appears. She demands to know what Suchan was doing there. Luxino asks who she is, and Shokin proudly claims to be his girlfriend. The attendant casually mentions that her boyfriend just ordered a banquet for 1,000 people and paid 500,000 in advance. You're lucky to have a boyfriend like him, Luxino says. Though privately she sizes Shokin up as no more than a 7 out of 10, but with a good figure. Why do rich guys always choose women like this? Nearby, Nam Wang and Asha Owen overhear. They're stunned at the mention of a $10 million banquet. The attendant confirms it and explains that many wealthy men hide their fortune until marriage, then reveal it all in grand gestures. Shokin, hearing this, starts to believe Suchan might actually be rich. Wan refuses to believe it, but Luxino even shows proof of the 500,000 transfer. On the street, Wang asks Shokin who Suchan plans to invite to such a massive banquet. Shokin, clearly excited, says, "You don't get it. He's introducing me to a circle of millionaires. Once he does, he'll reveal who I really am." Shokin slaps Shokin in frustration, thinking to herself that she needs to create every chance to stay close to Suchan. She imagines herself in a luxury chair, pampered like a wealthy lady, her eyes sparkling at the thought. She never expected this loser to have such money. Now she's determined to marry him. Meanwhile, Suchan is calmly counting his gains. 700,000 from selling his house, 600,000 from the loan, and 500,000 spent on the banquet. With his name about to be ruined anyway, taking out more loans is no problem. He installs every banking app he can find, creates over 80 accounts, and manages to borrow another $970,000. Now he can purchase what he truly needs: a fireplace, an ice-making machine, tons of ice blocks, smokeless charcoal, and other survival items that can't be found in regular stores. With online shopping and express delivery, it's simple. He orders 2,000 tons of smokeless charcoal and calls an ice factory to reserve a massive supply of edible ice. As he walks down the street, a girl calls out to him. It's Lena, one of Shokin's friends. She says Shokin misses him, but Suchan knows better. Lena has always spoken badly of him, and Shokin only misses his house, not him. "Miss me?" he replies coldly. "She must miss my house." Lena turns to Shokin and says Suchan is probably testing her feelings. Shokin quickly rushes to him, acting embarrassed, apologizing and asking if he'll walk with her because she's upset about their fight. Suchan brushes her off and tells her to walk alone. Shokin's temper flares, accusing him of being arrogant, while Lena notices he's getting into a taxi and suggests they follow him to see what he's doing. Suchan arrives at the ice factory, where the manager is surprised to see someone so young placing such a massive order. "Are the 2,000 tons of edible ice ready?" Suchan asked. The manager warns that his factory isn't cheap, but promises fast delivery. All Suchan needs to do is pay a small deposit. He immediately transfers 100,000. The manager says everything will be delivered in 3 days. Curious, the manager asks why Suchan needs so much ice. Maybe he's organizing a big event. If so, they could work together in the future and prices could be negotiated. Suchan simply says it's for a charity event and leaves. At that moment, she'll make sure to crush Suchan for making her sweat like this, but on the outside, she keeps smiling sweetly and pretending it's nothing. Lena watches her struggle with the heavy boxes and whispers, "So this is what people call acting skills." The banquet tables are almost ready, the carpets rolled out, the lighting shining like it's a real royal event. Neighbors walking by stop to look. What kind of young man throws $1 million banquet? Meanwhile, Suchan is checking his list. Fireplace? Delivered. Smokeless charcoal? Stacked. Ice blocks? Stored. Emergency food and tools? All secured. His plan is coming together. People think he's just showing off money, but he's preparing for when the world freezes and burns at the same time. Xiao An wipes sweat from her forehead and asks again, "What's really going on? Are you getting married? Suchan only smiles mysteriously, which drives her crazy. Lena jumps in, saying, "Can't you see? This is a test. He's checking if you're loyal before you become rich." Xiaowen's heart pounds. She imagines herself in a diamond necklace, sitting on a throne-like chair, servants fanning her and Suchan kneeling at her feet. Just then, another truck pulls up, this time full of fresh ingredients, top-grade liquor, and rare seafood. Kokin nearly drops the box she's carrying. "Is he feeding the whole city?" she mutters. Workers from the hotel begin arranging golden plates and silver cutlery. As night falls, rumors spread. People in the city whisper about the mysterious young man who booked the presidential suite, ordered 2,000 tons of ice, and is hosting a 1,000-guest banquet. Banquet is just a cover. As the final deliveries arrive and workers set everything in place, he thinks to himself, once the world collapses, all this food will be worth more than gold, and I'll already have it. If you want to know what happens next, comment one simple word, hotter. If enough of you do, I will make a part 2, and trust me, it gets more goonier for you. If you have any other manhwa, manga, or anime you want recapped on, let me know in the comments. Any suggestions regarding the videos are super appreciated.